Guys, so for this tutorial I'm going to be using my size 4mm hook, my scissors, and this chunky yarn. So the name of the yarn is sheep juice. I really don't know how to pronounce the name of the yarn, but it's a chunky monkey yarn. So to get started, I'm going to be working with 4 panels, the front and the back panel and the 2-arm panel. So the front and the back panel are going to be the same thing. So whatever I'm doing for the front panel is what I'm going to repeat for the back panel. So to get started, I'm going to be working with the chainless foundation double crochet. With the chainless foundation double crochet stitch. And the main reason I'm always working with that is because it's really stretchy compared to just using the normal foundation stitch. So now I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to start with a slip knot. Now for the chainless foundation double crochet stitch, I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to yarn over and put my hook into the first stitch that we did, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops left. I'm going to yarn over and pull through the first loop. I have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. I have 2 loops left, yarn over and pull through 2. So now we have 2 double crochet. I'm going to yarn over and go into the end of this previous double crochet, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops left, yarn over and pull through the first loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So I'm just going to do this till I get the length I want for my front panel. And you can also work with the normal foundation stitch if that's what you prefer. But like I said, I like to use the chainless foundation double crochet stitch because it's really stretchy and I don't have to worry about the ends of my project being tight. So I'm just going to do this till I get the length I want for my cardigan, or rather the width I want for my cardigan. So I did a total of 7 chains of the chainless foundation double crochet, and this is about let me see, so this is about 26 inches when stretched. So you can make your cardigan wider or smaller than this depending on what you want, but because my yarn is not really going to be enough if I'm going for an oversized cardigan, I just have to go for a smaller cardigan. So that's 26 inches. Sorry, this is 26 inches. So for the next row, I'm going to chain 3. This is my first double crochet, so I'm going to skip the first stitch that is attached to the chain 3 space, and sorry, to the chain 3 stitch, and I'm going in with 1 double crochet in each stitch till I get to the end of this round. So I'm just putting in 1 double crochet in each stitch. Do this for an extra row, meaning I'm going to do 3 rows of double crochet. So since I have 1 row and this is my second round, I'm going to do 1 more round of double crochet, then I'll show you guys what to do for the 4th row. But for now, we're just going in with 1 double crochet in each stitch, and I'm going to do this for an extra round. So I did 3 rows of double crochet. For the first row, I'm going to be working with the puff stitch. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to skip the stitch that is connected to this chain 3 and go into the next stitch. So I'm going to yarn over and put my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and go back into the same stitch and pull through. I have 5 loops on my hook. Now I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. So this is what my puff stitch is looking like. Now I'm going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch and go into the next stitch, yarn over and put my hook into the next. Remember, I'm skipping 1 stitch and I'm going into the next stitch. So yarn over and put my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops left, yarn over and go back into the same stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 5 loops left. Now I'm going to yarn over and pull through the 5 loops. So I'm just going to continue with the puff stitch. So chain 1, skip 1 stitch, yarn over and put my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops left, yarn over and go back into the same stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 5 loops left, yarn over and pull through the 5 loops, chain 1, skip 1 stitch and go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops left, yarn over and go back into the same stitch and pull through. I have 5 loops left, yarn over and pull through the 5 loops. So I'm just going to continue with the puff stitch till I get to the end of this round. So this is what my puff stitch is looking like. I'm just going to do this one more. So chain 1, skip 1 stitch, skip 1 stitch, yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops left, yarn over and go back into the same stitch and pull through. I have 5 loops left, yarn over and pull through the 5 loops, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops left, yarn over and go back into the same stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through the 5 loops. And I'm going to continue with this till I get to the end of this round. So I've come to the end of this round and I'm just going to finish it off with a double crochet. So 1 double crochet. So I didn't chain any, I didn't chain 1. I just went directly into the last stitch with 1 double crochet. So for the 5th round, for the 5th to the 7th round, I'm going to be working with the double crochet stitch. So we'll be alternating between 3 rows of double crochet and 1 row of puff stitch. So I'm just going to chain 3, which serves as my first double crochet. Now I'm going to continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch. So I'm going to put 1 double crochet in the puff stitch. Remember, we're skipping the stitch because it's connected to this chain 3. So I'm going to go into the puff stitch with 1 double crochet, go into the chain 1 space with 1 double crochet, put 1 double crochet in the puff stitch and 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet in the puff stitch, 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet in the puff stitch, and 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet in the puff stitch, 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space. So we'll just be working with 1 double crochet in this round and in the next 2 rounds. So don't forget to put 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet in the puff stitch, 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space. So I'm just going to continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch for this round, and then I'll let you guys know what to do next. But like I said, I'll be alternating between 3 rows of double crochet and 1 row of the puff stitch. So this is my first round, so which means for the 6th and the 7th round I'm going to be working with double crochet. So I did 3 rows of double crochet, and like I said, I'll be alternating between 3 rows of double crochet and 1 row of puff stitch. So for the next round, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, for the 8th round I'm going to be working with the puff stitch. So I'm going to chain 3, 1 2 3. I'm going to skip the stitch that's connected to the chain 3 and go into the next stitch with a puff stitch. So I'm going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops, yarn over and go back into the same stitch and pull through. I have 5 loops, yarn over and pull through the 5. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch and go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops, yarn over and go back into the same stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 5 loops, yarn over and pull through the 5 of them. So I'm just going to be working chain 1, skip 1 stitch. I'm just going to be working with the puff stitch for this round, and I'll be alternating between the double crochet stitch and the puff stitch till I get the length I want for the cardigan. Then I'm going to show you guys what to do next. So you're just going to keep on alternating though until you get the length you want. So I'm just going to do this and I'm going to come back and show you guys what to do next. So I did 29 rows alternating between the double crochet and the puff stitch. Now for the neckline or the shoulder panel, I'm going to chain 3. So 1 2 3. Now you're going to mark off where you want your neckline to be. So I'm just going to go in with 1 double crochet till I get to where I want my neckline to stop on this side. So since I chained 3, I'm going to skip the first stitch. I'm going to put 1 double crochet in the next 15 to 20 stitch. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 and 20. So I did 1 double crochet in 20 stitches. Now I'm just going to fasten off. I'm going to repeat the same thing on this other side. So I'm just going to tie my yarn at this end and go in with 1 double crochet in 20 stitches. So now I've tied my yarn. I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to repeat what I did for this side. So I'm going in with 1 double crochet in 20 stitches. So this is our first double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm done with both panels and they're identical, so I did the same thing for the back panel. Now I'm just going to join the 2 panels together, starting from the shoulder panel. So I'm just going to tie my yarn, and so I'm going to tie my yarn here. Now I'm just going to join the 2 panels together with a single crochet. So I'm just joining the 2 ends together with a single crochet, and once I'm done with this side, I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. I'm done joining the 2 panels together, and as you can see, I already did 1 sleeve. So I just stitched these ends together with a single crochet and marked off where I wanted my armhole to be. So I'm going to show you guys how I did the armhole. So I used my stitch marker to mark off where I want my armhole to be. So you can make your armhole smaller or wider depending on your preference. Now I'm just going to stitch this end till I get to where my stitch marker is. So I'm going to tie my yarn somewhere here at this end. So now that I've tied my yarn, I'm just going to stitch the 2 panels together with a single crochet, or you can use your needle, whichever one you prefer. Working with this yarn can be difficult because it keeps opening, but I'm just joining the 2 panels together with a single crochet. Honestly, working with this yarn can be really stressful because it keeps scattering. I'm not really a fan of chunky yarns, but yeah, I'm almost getting there. So yeah, I'm just working in one single crochet. So I've gotten to where my stitch marker is. I'm just going to remove the stitch marker because I've gotten to where my armhole is going to be. So this is where the armhole is going to be. And just to be on the safe side, I have to check if it's on the same level with the other arm. Okay, so yeah, this is where the armhole is going to be. So for the armhole, I'm just going to repeat what I did for the body of the cardigan. So you can fasten up your yarn here and just retie it wherever you want to start, but I'm not going to fasten it up. I'm just going to continue with the yarn. So now I'm going to chain 3, and this serves as my first double crochet. I'm going to continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch around the armhole. So I'm just going to put 1 double crochet in whichever stitch that my hook can enter. So like I said, I'm going to be repeating what I did for the body of the cardigan, meaning I'll be alternating between the double crochet stitch and the puff stitch. So I'm going to be doing 3 rows of double crochet and then 3 rows of and 1 row of puff stitch. So basically what I did for the body of the cardigan. So since this is my first round of double crochet, it means I have to go around with 2 more rows of double crochet before I do the puff stitch. But for now, I'm just going in with 1 double crochet into any stitch that my hook can enter. So since I'm going to be alternating between 3 rows of double crochet and 1 row of puff stitch, I'm just going to go around with 1 double crochet in each stitch for 2 more rows, and then when I'm about to do the puff stitch, I'm going to come back and show you guys how to do it, just to refresh your memory. But for now, I'm going around with 1 double crochet in each stitch. So now I've come to the end of this round. Sorry, I need to unravel this because it keeps tangling. So I've come to the end of this round. I'm just going to slip stitch into the chain 3 that I did. So into the first chain of the chain 3, I'm going to slip stitch. For the next round, I'm going to chain 3. So for each round, you're going to start off with chain 3 and then continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch. So since I said I'm going to do this for 3 rows, I'm just going I'm just going to do this for 2 more rows, making it 3, and then I'll show you guys how to do the puff stitch. So I did 3 rows of double crochet. For the 4th round, I'm going to be working with the puff stitch. So I'm just going to slip stitch to close up this round, or to finish off this round. Now for the puff stitch, I'm going to yarn over and pull my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops left. I'm going to yarn over and go back into the same stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 5 loops, yarn over and pull through the 5 loops. So I hope you're going to be working with a better yarn than me, because this yarn is really hard to work with. So I'm going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops, yarn over and go back into the same stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 5 loops, yarn over and pull through the 5 loops, chain 1, skip 1 stitch and go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops, yarn over and go back into the same stitch and pull through. I have 5 loops, yarn over and pull through the 5 loops. So like I said, I'm going to be alternating between the double crochet stitch and the puff stitch. So I'm just repeating the same thing I did for the body of the cardigan till I get the length I want for my sleeve, and then I'll show you guys how to do the neckline. So I'm just going to keep on alternating between 3 rows of double crochet, 1 row of puff stitch, 3 rows of double crochet, 1 row of puff stitch, till I get the length I want. So I did a total of 33 rows for the sleeve, alternating between the double crochet stitch and the puff stitch. So now for the hem of the cardigan, that's the lower part of the cardigan, I'm just going to tie my yarn at one end. So I'm just going to tie my yarn at this end. You can skip this part and just leave your cardigan like this, but I just want the lower part of the cardigan to be a bit tight or to be a bit fitted. So I'm going to be doing the hem of the cardigan. So for this, I'm going to be working with the rib stitch. So since I already tied my yarn, I'm going to chain 3, which serves as my first double crochet, and I'm going to be working with the front post and the back post. So for the rib stitch, I'm going to yarn over and go into the front post, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and go through the back posts, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. So I'm just working the double crochet with the double crochet stitch, but with the front post and the back post. So since I did the back post, I'm going to work with the front post. So yarn over and put my hook through the front post, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. So I'm just going to be alternating between the front post and the back post. but because I want my cardigan to be a bit tighter at the hem, I'm going to switch to a smaller hook. So I'm going to switch to my size 3mm hook. So I'm just going to start all over again. So since I already tied my yarn, I'm going to chain 3, go through the front posts, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. So working with a smaller pin for this yarn can really be hard. So since I went through the front post, I'm going to go through the back post, yarn over and pull through. So I'm just working 1 double crochet in the front post and in the back post. Like I said, you can skip this step and just leave your cardigan the way it is, but I just want to have a tighter hem. That's why I'm working with the rib stitch. So I'm just going to keep on alternating between the front post and the back post, and I'm going to do this for maybe 2 to 3 rows. I'll let you guys know how many rows I'm going to do, and then that's it for the cardigan. Also for the neckline, you can go around with 1 single crochet or you can leave it like this, but I think I'm going to leave the cardigan like this. It all depends on you and how you want your neckline to look. So I'm just going to alternate between the work on the rib stitch till I get the amount of rows I want for the hem of my cardigan. So all you have to do is alternate between the front post and the back post, but you're working with double crochet. So because I switched to a smaller yarn, as you can see, it's already getting tighter, like it's coming together. I don't know how to explain it, but it's going to be a bit tighter compared to the upper part of the cardigan. And I'm going to do this for a few more rows, and I'm going to let you guys know how many rows I did, and probably that's it for the cardigan. So I'm done with the hem of the sweater, and I did 3 rows of the rib stitch. You can do more rows or you can skip the hem, depends on what you want, like I said. So I know I said I wasn't going to work on the neckline, but I just want to clean up the stitches around the neckline so it looks smooth. So for the neckline, I'm just going to tie my yarn at one end, and I switched back to my 4mm hook. So for the hem of the sweater, I used my 3mm hook, but for the neckline, I'm going to be using my 4mm hook. So since I already tied my yarn, I'm just going to be going around the neckline with a single crochet. So I'm just going to be putting 1 single crochet in each stitch around the neckline of the sweater. So I'm just putting in one single crochet in each stitch. Like I said, you can skip this step if you like the way the cardigan looks like, but I just want to coin the neckline of the cardigan so it looks neat. So I'm just going in with one single crochet in each stitch. So now I've come to the end of this round and I'm going to fasten off my yarn, and that's it for the cardigan. So this is the end result of the cardigan. I can't find my scissors right now, but I'm going to fasten off and cut off the yarn. So this is what the cardigan looks, or rather the sweater looks like. And if there's anything you don't understand, like I always say, you can leave a comment down in the comment section so I can explain better. But that's it for the cardigan. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I'm going to see you guys in my next tutorial.